If you and your team are working hard, but your bottom line is not changing, either your plans are not getting executed or they are getting executed and your plans are not working, well, this is for you. I want to give you a book that fixes just that. My name is Matt Roberts, and following my own VC-backed exit, I've spent 10 years working alongside amazing leaders to design how they organize themselves and operate to create competitive advantage and growth. Over 100 organizations. The biggest was last year with 4,000 people across a global business. The smallest was just 20 in the UK who had a great product but were not scaling. And in the middle, we've got private hospital groups, technology startups and scale-ups, service businesses, and manufacturers. And the book? Well, this is what we have learned works. And what it teaches you is that the same 6 things built into how you choose to operate works at all sizes and sectors. But here is the issue with most businesses. Leaders have not designed how the company runs. It usually just evolved, which is understandable, of course. There is always something more urgent than a conversation about how you work. So that conversation always loses. And the way of working becomes whatever survived. Not the best version, the version that nobody got around to changing. Now that sounds like bad news. Well, it's the opposite. Because if this was a people problem, you'd be looking at hiring and personalities and years of work. But it's a design problem, and you can change a design on any day of the week. So go back to those 2 common starting points for a second. Plans not getting executed, well, that's a resourcing and a rhythm problem. Plans that are getting executed and not working, well, that's a choice and an evidence problem. And there are 6 integrated planning steps that fix both. The first is the focus, 2 or 3 choices that you're actually going to resource, which is your strategy. The numbers, these are the measures that would change a decision. The ideas, where the best goals are stress tested and chosen. The goals themselves, outcomes, with real people's time attached, and the work, where and how progress is accelerated, and finally, the brain, where the company remembers what it learned. 3 of those are about aiming, 3 are about moving. And the book, well, that's accompanied by templates and training files for an LLM like Claude or ChatGPT. And here's a taster. This is the 1-page summary that is created after following the strategic planning steps that we outline. It has the what, the where, and the how of winning. The crux is named. In addition to what you will not compromise on, it has your choices along with a guiding policy. Then there's the goal template. Company goals are at the top, the outcomes we are working towards, the team that is accountable for progress, the work driving progress, the issues that they are overcoming, the decisions, and how all good goals end, common sense grading, learning, and recognition for the value created. And then the bonus calculator, the company gate everybody shares, personal goals, judged, not computed, and health metrics as a gate. And finally, the AI install pack. The AI coach we created has effectively been in development for over 10 years as we have trained it on our training materials and our coaching method. But the instructions and files it uses take only a minute or so to install. You can use it to sharpen the strategies that you have and the goals that you use of any framework. I've pasted an OKR example from a high-ranking page in here to test it with you to show you. And you'll see many examples like this online. Your LLM, Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, etc. will read the instructions as well as the 16 other knowledge files that make up the coaching brain. And it's immediately going to give you coaching that is an order of magnitude better than any general LLM. It knows that this goal is not strategic and it is really full of slow-moving health metrics. It's probing for what much better could look like. It's getting to the core issue and opportunity. And if you do want to define drafts or get suggestions, what follows is something closer to excellence than nearly every example you will find in most organizations and online. The impact that this can have on any company or team is enormous. I invite you to download the book now at zockery.com. Read it. There's great hard-earned advice that really works there. And if you get to the end and you want the templates I just showed you and the AI install pack and a meeting with me to talk about any of it, that is £100, and that's a fraction of what it normally costs on purpose. It makes great advice accessible, and some of the people I meet will become customers who my team and I will help after the call. And one last thing, and it's the reason I still enjoy this. Almost every leadership team I have done this with has had the same surprise at the end. They find out that their people were better than the system was letting them be. You do not need a transformation. You need a catalyst. The book is just that.